We are a spiritual community awakening to our divine nature through love, service, and personal transformation. I was reading up about community and said it's really important that people know what they're about. And just thought I'd remind you with that we are a spiritual community, meaning that our emphasis is on our internal development, but we do it through some internal ways, transformation, but also through external ways of loving others, including ourselves, and by being of service. And that service can take the form of internal with us, or it could be part of the outreach, or it could be part of, you may not think of it as service, maybe putting your paintings up on we do an art show, or you may think of you're just being selfish by showing up here, but I can guarantee you that for those of us who come to church to see another face here is reinforcing that we also belong and have a place, and a place that has some power and grace about it. When we see your face, we're reminded that your presence and ours are what make a community. And community seems to be the one thing, or one of the many things, but certainly one of the very important things that the world is missing now. And for many people, when I've met who've come to Unity for the first time, they go, I didn't know it was a place. Well, this is the best kept secret in town. Unfortunately, they're right, but it is true. We do an excellent job once you walk in the door of expressing love and acceptance, I think, but we don't extend the invitation to those who are hungry, really hungry, to know that they are not so weird that they can't find a community. We leave them in the dark as though it would be an insult to say, I think I got something for you here. And maybe you're not a psychic teacher, but there might be somebody in your psyche that you know could use this place, could use a place where acceptance is the norm, where we don't make rules about how you need to act so much as you need to act in such a way that you honor the divine within you and the person next to you. And if you do those things, you will find this to be your place. And you don't have to believe particular things so much as you need to live as though you believe that every person is a child of God. If you will do that, this is your home. But every community needs an edge. It needs to know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And it's just not acceptable to come in here with a lot of loaded thoughts about whether people belong or not. So this is who we are. We're people on a spiritual quest to awaken as fully as we can to the reality we hold to be most real, that we are actually spiritual beings at our core, parts of the divine, that know ourselves best often when we do service or give love to others. Though we may be willing to change and transform ourselves, we're also willing to be here just as we are, and to accept others in the same condition. And so that's who we are. And how do we grow as a community? How do we invite others? We just ask them. In preparing for this day, I was looking at several places, and they came up with this same thought, that the invitation is the antidote to someone feeling they don't belong. And the sense of belonging is one of the critical missing pieces for the sanity of our world right now. People don't feel like they belong. And if you've noticed, the one place many people are jumping into to feel like they belong is into the political world. Because they don't have a home base that is a community that says you do belong, so they look for something they can identify with. And if not, they pull for Duke or Carolina. It's one of those things, it's like we are needing to belong. It's part of being a social animal. It's the nature of our DNA. We need to belong. We need touch also. I personally think we need physical touch, contact, eye contact with live human beings. And it's part of the reason why, to all the people who are watching online, this is an invitation to you, especially for you. Come here and share in the energetic feel of being with other people. And so one of the things we might be sharing when we hug, this is my theory, is we might be sharing the missing pieces of our biome that produces health. Now, if it's not a microbe, perhaps it's a micro experience that we're missing. When you think about it, contact with others is as natural to human beings as it is to, say, a tribe of monkeys. They're constantly grooming each other. They're trying to make something happen there. And when they do that, they're bonding with each other. Let's consider the words we say and the physical touch we give and the eye contact we make, part of that missing pieces in our own emotional biome, that we need that. And it's not an embarrassment to need that. It's just a fact. And that as our community grows in our own ability to recognize the goodness within ourselves, it becomes easier and easier also to recognize the goodness in others. And part of that is to be reminded when you forget. That's the emotional biome we need to move into a deeper state of self-awareness. To let that which is of communal prosperity, the communal prosperity of acknowledgement that each of us is divine in our own way. Each of us are going through our own struggles, our sense of loss, our fears, our wins and our losses. And it is the community's sense of caring and allowing us to feel like we belong that buffers those vicissitudes down to a manageable level so that we do not become a statistic of depression, of suicide, of craziness. But we find our way to be at home in our own skin, in part because we're at home in the community. And it's more than this church, it's more than your family. It takes a village of communities for us to be whole and complete. But those two places, the family and this church, are great places to start.
I hope you got something out of today's service. We intend to bring you things that will help you in your life become more of who you want to be, give you the freedom of forgiveness and the hope of expectancy that your life will unfold in a way that brings you joy, happiness, and is a contribution to the world. If you would like to contribute to this ministry, please go to unitytriangle.org, hit the donate button, and it will lead you into an easy way of doing that. We thank you for your attention and look forward to seeing you again here.